Chapter 67. A few days later, Kevin told me that his parents were about to attend counseling and he would be staying with foster parents until they were proven capable of raising him. He had to attend counseling twice a week. Luckily, his foster parents lived only 2 miles away. When I talked to Daddy over supper, he had some suggestions for my love life. He thought that I should dump Cole and take up with Kevin. Cole had never impressed him, but he had loved Kevin from the first time he'd met him. I couldn't take his suggestion seriously, though, because I only liked Kevin as a friend. He wants to live with us, I told Daddy. Daddy gave me a curious look. Yeah, he talked to me about it. You know he can't, even if you two could manage not to sleep together again. He has a mother and a father, and the law says he stays with them unless they say otherwise. I've met his parents, and they aren't letting him live anywhere but with them. They'll hit him again, I cried. He'll be safe here. Daddy pulled me onto his lap and rocked me. That's what I'm afraid of, too. You don't know how much I wish it could be different. Kevin and I had one class together, and that was study hall. I never did any serious studying there, and neither did Kevin, so I convinced the teacher to allow us to go down to the band room every day instead of coming to her class. I told her I was going to give Kevin drum lessons there, but in fact he was already good on drums. He might practice a little, but mostly we were going to hang out. The band instructor liked Kevin and agreed to let us use his room to practice. We were warned if we abused this privilege, we would be severely punished. I let the warning go in one ear and out the other while Kevin shook at the mere thought of it. I hoped the separation from his parents would settle his nerves. A month later, I made a big profit off the stocks I'd invested in. I felt rather guilty about the money. Daddy never knew that I'd withdraw my savings in the first place. He had told me a long time ago that I could spend the money however I pleased. I figured I'd wait until I had enough money to let him retire on before I told him how I'd obtained it. We also had made a great deal from our 6-month investment. I picked another 6-month investment and Daddy made the transaction. I woke up in the middle of the night and went downstairs to get a drink of water. I was startled to find a woman in the kitchen. She turned around and it was Mary. We stared at each other a moment. Sorry, you weren't supposed to see this, she remarked. Why don't you leave your husband if you want to be with my dad? I found myself asking. Daddy loves you. He's always loved you. It's hard to explain to you why, she replied as she looked at her coffee cup. Maybe you could come over more? I asked hopefully. I really wanted to see my dad happy. Believe me, I'd like that more than anything, she said wistfully. Then she put down her coffee cup and gave me an unexpected hug. Now go back to bed and get some sleep, she said. I really felt sad that night because although I knew that they would see each other again, they would never be together as a couple. I was even thinking that she might die unexpectedly, and that really upset me. I turned back to her. I guess my dad's told you that I'm psychic, right? I asked her. She agreed that he had. They're telling me that this is your last chance with my dad. If you don't follow your heart in about a span of a few months, that's all going away. And I don't know what that means, Mary. I don't want you to go away. I know my dad wants you to be with us. And I do too. I can't even imagine what they mean, but it's sad, whatever it is. Can you ask them what they mean? All they're saying is that you need to make a decision of what you want right now and follow it immediately, or else you're going to suffer the consequences. They're saying that you had many chances and you haven't followed your heart. You're supposed to follow your heart, they said. You're allowed to have this relationship. If you had to guess what they meant about consequences, what would you guess? I feel the loss of someone, maybe by somebody moving here or moving away or some other situation that makes it impossible for you to be with my dad. Or maybe by somebody dying. I just don't know for sure, I replied. I didn't want to talk about it anymore because I felt she knew exactly what she was supposed to do to make it right. I also still felt that she was going to die if she didn't do it, but I couldn't tell her that. And I already knew she wasn't going to follow her heart. That's what hurt the most. Who knew if Daddy would ever get over her? Of course, the next morning, Dad wasn't happy that I'd given Mary that psychic information. He was pretty angry. I didn't tell him that the voice had prompted me to tell her. They wanted her to make the right choice, but in the end she had free will to do what she wanted. We all have free will.